Hello, my name is Stuart. My wife and I are supported lodgings carers in Surrey County Council. We support young people in our own home who are in the process of leaving care, aged between 18 and 21. I'm also a co-facilitator training other professionals in social pedagogy. In 2013, I was privileged to take part in the Head, Hands and Hearts programme. And after the 8-day course, I went on to study for the Level 3 diploma, which I and a number of other of my colleagues have recently qualified in. I think if I was to be asked the impact of social pedagogy on my own practice, I would say that it's been very significant. So much so that a young person who was living with us at the time I was doing the course, she actually remarked on the change that she noticed in me. She thought that I'd become much more engaged and much more proactive in the relationship, and she saw this as a positive thing. I think this wasn't her language, but it's mine. I think that through social pedagogy, I've become a much more authentic practitioner, because I think the first thing that resonated with me with social pedagogy is it resonated with my own values and approach. Social pedagogy uses a German word called Haltung, which is about bringing our beliefs and convictions into our activities, into the way that we work. And so this philosophy enabled me to bring the personal and the professional together. And when you think about it in the home, it's very difficult for that not to be happen, because you're living in the same life space as the young person. But if you like, social pedagogy permissioned that as being a very positive thing. And I experienced with the young person we were caring for at the time that it really was transformatory for me. I think one of the factors for many of us who've done social pedagogy is that it really does increase our level of confidence, not just in terms of working with the young people and the children, but also working with other professionals, that we feel that our contribution is valid, it's significant, but we are really happy to engage in dialogue around the table to see the very best outcome for the young person. My wife and I have always been reflective people, so we're always asking questions about, the way we're doing things and can we do better. But I think social pedagogy also took us to another level. It pushed our reflective practices a lot deeper, not just reflecting on how we're doing with the young person, but actually our own assumptions, our own ways of doing things. And that reflective practice has really enabled us to find some creativity and some new ways of seeing and some new ways of being in terms of the way we relate to the young people in our home. Another model which social pedagogy brought before us was the common third, and it's about positive learning experiences with the young person, looking for a activity through which we can actually develop our relationship with one another. And I think it's that relational dynamic that has been very significant, because social pedagogy puts the emphasis not on a sort of a clinical or a pathological approach to young people, but on a relational approach. And I love Claire Cameron's suggestion that fosterers and carers are actually experts in the everyday. And I think that confidence that there is a learning experience in the everyday, there is something about creating everyday normal activity as a really positive learning experience, can be really, again, really transformatory. So the relational approach, I think, is very significant. Right from the beginning of when we started our own practice, we realized that without the relational bridge, it doesn't matter what resources or what support we want to bring to the young person. If that relational bridge of trust and respect isn't there, then you can deliver very little, whatever your aspirations are. I think the final thing I'd want to say about social pedagogy is that it also provides a lot of practical tools to help us build relationship. It's not a methodology, but it does enable us to think about what are the tools, what are the models and the methods that actually might be most appropriate to help our particular young person in a particular context. And I think a lot of those tools have been very significant. Probably the most significant for me was when I came across Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication. Up until that point, I could never understand why my relationship, particularly with young men, whenever there was a conflict situation, when I got involved, it seemed to escalate. And then I came across Marshall Rosenberg, and I understand that actually that I was the problem, not the young person, that actually my language was the kind of language that inevitably exacerbates conflict. So for me, there's so much that could be said about social pedagogy, but it is fundamentally transformatory for many who've embraced its values and its approach. And it's a philosophy which I think can add so much to our social work. Hope you have a really good day.